As an old player who had his love for this game revitalized, I have been on a journey throughout this channel, taking a look back at a bunch of archetypes that have probably slipped my memory with my time away from this game, or a bunch of archetypes that I have come out and I've never heard about before. And today, we are going to be taking a trip down memory lane through the Cloudian archetype. Guys, I am excited to talk about this because I'm somebody, when I was a kid, I tried to make these work so much. Obviously, it never could work. Even back in the old days, there was pretty well nothing that you could do to make the Cloudian archetype work. I was a big fan of Yu-Gi-Oh! GX. If you guys don't know, I've mentioned on the channel before, my sister and I recently revisited the show as adults, and oh my god, the nostalgia that I felt, I'm like, it makes me want to play Cloudians again. I have no idea if this ended up getting any support over the years. I doubt it. I feel like I might have heard about it, but then again, like, I didn't even know that Yugioh ended up getting support, so I guess we'll find out regardless. I don't even remember what half of these effects do, or the vast majority of them for that case. It's going to be fun, guys. Let's start with Cloudian Acid Cloud over here. Level 4, Fairy, 500 attack. This card cannot be destroyed by battle. If this card is in face-up defense position, destroy it. When you normal summon this card, place 1 fog counter on it for each Cloudian monster in the field. You can remove 2 fog counters from this card to destroy 1 spell or trap on the field. The problem with this is, of course, the fog counters never really worked. They didn't work back in the day, let alone just having monsters laying around on the field long enough to have fog counters placed on them. I feel like this card would be a little bit better if it was like a Breaker of the Magical Warrior type thing, where, hey, you get it out, or you can just take out 1 fog counter from anywhere on the field, or 2 fog counters from anywhere on the field to destroy spell or trap in the field. I like that. I don't recall if the cannot be destroyed by battle and in face-up defense position effect is part of every single monster, but it's interesting to have a bunch of cards not being able to be destroyed by battle, and then you just can't put them in defense position, so you still take all of the battle damage. I guess we'll find out as we continue on. Let's get over into Cloudian Atlas over here. Look at this big guy. Okay. They might all have that effect. This card cannot be destroyed by battle. If this card is in face-up defense position, destroy it. When you normal summon this card, place 1 fog counter on it for each Cloudian monster in the field. You can remove 3 fog counters from anywhere in the field and discard 1 random card from your opponent's hand. I actually don't mind that effect, but the thing is, again, you're not going to have cards laying around on the field for long enough to have a bunch of fog counters, to let alone, like, hey, I'm going to take off 2 from this card, now 3 from this card. But the thing is, too, you can't just do, let's take out 1 fog counter. So this thing is really, really difficult to balance, especially for back in the day, man. It's unfortunately not that great of a card. Let's get into the next Cloudian monster over here. 900 attack, Fairy. This card cannot be destroyed by battle. This card is in face-up in defense position, destroy it. When you normal summon this card, place 1 fog counter for each Cloudian monster in the field. You can remove 2 fog counters from this card to destroy 1 monster in the field. A little bit more of the same deal with the spell and trap effect. It makes sense, goes with the archetype. What can you do over here? Let's get into Cloudian Eye of the Typhoon. When this card declares an attack, change the battle position of all face-up monsters except Cloudian monsters. Could you imagine if that was the effect? Let's change it to every single Cloudian on the field to defense position and destroy all of the cards. That's actually not too bad of a card, but the thing is, it's probably going to be a little bit difficult to get out. You're not going to want to tribute your monsters because they're all going to have fog counters on them. You're going to have to use some other way of just getting this bad boy out. Even then, like, I'm thinking back in the day, you had, like, maybe Call of the Haunted. If you could discard it somehow, you could get a milling effect. You'd have to get lucky of getting it to the graveyard. But the fact that I'm thinking about how difficult it is to get this monster out and how worth it would be to just tribute 2 monsters to get it out, that's not worth it in general, man. Nothing you can do, but it is one of the beat sticks of the deck, if not like the only beat stick of the deck. Let's get into Cloudian Ghost Fog over here. This card cannot be special summoned. All battle damage to either player from battle involving this monster becomes 0. If this card is destroyed by battle, distribute new fog counters equal to the level of monster destroyed it among face-up monsters. This is a little bit better. It would be nice if the Cloudians, like, worked kind of like, okay, this monster goes to the graveyard, all of the fog counters, or in this case, whatever level it is, like the monster destroyed it, whatever it may be, if you could redistribute fog counters from anywhere on the field to other cards, that would actually be able to make these types of things somewhat playable. That's not too bad of a card, okay? Let's get into the next Cloudian monster. Look at this guy. Look at the little brainiac over there. You can tribute any number of water monsters for the tribute summon of this card. When this card is tribute summoned, place 1 fog counter on it for each water monster that you tributed. This card gains 500 attack for each fog counter in the field. It's alright. What are you going to do? Are you going to... even tributing like 5 monsters for it. It's not really that worth it. You'd rather just use Cloudian Eye of the Typhoon. You're sacrificing a bunch of your fog counters consistently. It's unfortunately also not that great of a card over here. Let's get into Cloudian Poison Cloud. Oh, sorry, I was about to skip the first effect because I thought it was going to be the same, cannot be destroyed by battle. When this card is destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, if it was face up at the start of the damage step, destroy the monster that destroyed it, and if you do, inflict 800 damage to your opponent. Still not that great. Even for back in the day. Ooh, the big 800 damage. What was that other spell card that some people used to run just to get 800 damage? Uzuki? It was an U card. Ukazi? I don't remember. Something like that. It was just a spell card where it's just 800 burn damage. But even if, it's not worth it just to deal 800 damage if you were to summon a monster and get it destroyed by battle. This card also isn't that great. Let's get into Cloudian Sheep Cloud over here. When this card is destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, special summon 2 Cloudian tokens in defense position. These tokens cannot be tributed for the tribute summon unless it is for a Cloudian monster. So I would imagine this is going to be for that one Cloudian. I can't remember the name of it already. The one Cloudian where you contribute any number of water monsters, or Cloudian Eye of the Typhoon. But you would have to like get so lucky with your draws. Is there even any search cards for Cloudian monsters? I don't know. You would have to have this card and Eye of the Typhoon and hope that those tokens don't get destroyed by battle, because this thing's getting destroyed by battle. You'd have to like set it on the first turn when your opponent doesn't special summon any monsters. I see the vision. It doesn't work though. Let's continue on a Cloudian Smoke Ball, normal monster. Why do I feel like this? Not like anywhere near high level play. Why do I feel like there was a strategy behind the Smoke Balls? Maybe there's a monster that we're going to get into. Smoke Balls are newly born Cloudians. They fear being alone and would rather swing and stay in the sky with their friends. Aww, that's nice. Look at that cute little thing over there. Let's get into Cloudian Storm Dragon over here. This card cannot be normal summoned or set. This card can only be special summoned by removing from play 1 Cloudian monster from your graveyard. This card cannot be destroyed by battle. If this card is in face-up defense position, destroy it. Once per turn, you can place 1 fog counter on 1 monster on the field. This is a little bit better. I would have liked to see it not be 1,000 attack though. Like 1,800, 1,900 at least. It's easy to get out. You special summon it, which is nice. It's an easy way to special summon it. And every turn you get a fog counter. And it can't be destroyed by battle. This is probably the first Cloudian monster that is a good card. But I mean, like, good in the sense of just Cloudians. You know what? I would say it's a good card. It's a good card if you were trying to make a Cloudian deck work. But guys, let me stop you for just a second over here. As you might know, I am your guy with too many YouTube channels. We make daily commentaries on multiple channels. We have our toes dipped in different niches on YouTube. So if you are interested, if you happen to like me, if you happen to like my videos, my commentary, why don't you check out any one of our channels within the link tree at the top of the description, along with the direct links to each YouTube channel in the description down below. Like and subscribe if you have not already, guys. We make tons of videos like this. Let's keep going over here to Cloudian Turbulence. This card cannot be destroyed by battle. If it's in face-up defense position, destroy it. When you normal summon this card, place 1 fog counter for each Cloudian monster in the field. You can remove 1 fog counter from this card to special summon 1 Cloudian Smoke Ball from your deck or from either player's graveyard. Smoke Ball. Which one was that? Was that the little normal monster? Yes, it was. Yes, it was. It was Cloudian Smoke Ball. Ah, that might be what I'm remembering over there. That's probably exactly what I'm remembering. But it's not even, like, really that worth it. I thought this said from either player's deck at first. I was like, what? Yeah. Could you imagine being the guy? Oh, yeah, I just happened to be playing a Cloudian Smoke Ball. But to be honest with you, it's a little bit better the fact that all you have to do is remove 1 fog counter instead of 2 or 3. Let's get into some spell cards over here. Discard 1 Cloudian monster, then target 1 face-up monster in the field. Place fog counters on that target equal to its level. You can banish this card and 1 Cloudian monster from your graveyard. Special summon 1 Cloudian monster from your deck. Wow. This seems like almost a modern card. Did the Cloudian cards get support over the years? I'm thinking of that way because of the fact that you have the effect that you can banish this card from the graveyard, so you have that secondary effect when it comes to a spell card. That wasn't something that was... I can't even think of any cards in the old days that had that effect. Like, this is still the XYZ era. I'm thinking like Breakthrough Skill, Galaxy Cyclone. That's like the oldest I can think that did that. Did they try to give Cloudian support? That's crazy if that's the case, because this is actually a very, very good card. I like that. You get a Cloudian, you can get Eye of the Typhoon, man. We also have Cloudian Squall over here. During each of your standby phases, place one fog counter on every face-up monster. Not bad. Not bad. It's more so made for the old game because monsters were sticking around in the field for longer. We also have a quick play spell, Fog Control. Tribute one face-up Cloudian monster you control, place 3 fog counters on one face-up monster. Probably not worth it. I could see this like only being used in a case where it's like you use it as the quick play that it is in tributing your monster if your opponent was like already going to destroy it with something. That's really it, but placing 3 fog, you know what? Maybe it's not that bad. Sorry about the yawn there. Excuse me, guys. Maybe it's not too bad, but it's still like this whole archetype's a little underwhelming. We also have Lucky Cloud over here. During the end phase, if you summon 2 or more Cloudian monsters with the same name this turn, draw 2 cards with the same name. I don't know how simple that would be. I probably would skip this one. It's probably a little too difficult of the fact that I'm already thinking about how difficult that would be. We also have a continuous trap, Natural Disaster. Inflict 500 damage to your opponent each time a card or cards they control is destroyed and sent to the graveyard by the effect of a Cloudian monster. I can only think of one Cloudian monster that destroys. Am I stupid? Like, did that already slip my brain? I'm thinking of one monster right now that can destroy cards. Maybe I'm just an idiot in that one, and maybe that's worth it. We also have Raging Cloudian over here. Activate only when a Cloudian monster or monsters you control is destroyed by its own effect and sent to the graveyard. Special summon one of those monsters from your graveyard in attack position and place 1 fog counter on it. It cannot be changed to defense position by a card effect. Yeah. What is there that would change the defense position? I'm thinking like Katakuri, but even then, or Katakuri, I can't remember how it's pronounced. But even then, I'm thinking like, okay, they changed their own monsters to defense position, I think. Maybe. There's so much here that seems unnecessary to me. Am I wrong? We also have Rainstorm. I don't recognize this one. Select one Cloudian monster you control, reduce that monster's attack by 1,000 or 2,000 points, and apply the appropriate effect. 1,000 points. Destroy 1 spell or trap card your opponent controls. 2,000 points. Destroy 2 spell or traps your opponent controls. Now here's my question. There's a lot of them that have like 500 attack, 1,000 attack. Can you just reduce it by 2,000 and have it go to 0 and still get the 2,000 effect? I don't know, but this one's probably not that bad. But then again, hang on. Why would you not run Heavy Storm? Why would you not run MST? Why would you not run literally anything else? If you're talking back in the day, everybody was running Dust Tornado too. Never mind. What am I thinking right there? Twin Twister you could just use. We also have a continuous spell, Summon Cloud. Once per turn during your main phase, if you don't control any monsters, you can special summon 1 level 4 or lower Cloudian monster from your hand or from either player's graveyard. If you special summon a monster from the graveyard with this effect, destroy this card. For the time, maybe it wasn't that bad. It's kind of make me think of like Valhalla for the fairy monster, but then again, you could just run Valhalla. Yeah, all of these monsters are fairies, and you can reuse that card. I know Valhalla only summons from the hand, right? But still, either player's graveyard too. Yeah, it's probably like not that bad in comparison for back in the day, but there's no chance that you would play this in the modern era. Diamond Dust Cyclone is the next. It's a continuous spell over here. Select one monster with 4 or more fog counters. Destroy it, then draw 1 card for every 4 fog counters that were on it. You know that's not bad, but again, how often are you going to have Cloudian monsters in the field with 4 or more fog counters? It would honestly be worth it to destroy a Cloudian monster and draw 1 card. That would be a balanced and fair card. You could just destroy any Cloudian monster and then draw 1 card if it had a fog counter on it. I think that's a very nice quick play spell that would work. We also have a trap card over here, Updraft. Remove all fog counters from the field. Inflict 300 damage to your opponent for each fog counter you removed. I'm thinking like back in the day, if you were to use this archetype, you could really stack up fog counters on some of your opponent's monsters. But still, like none of this is really worth using. I think there was that one monster you could special summon by banishing a card from your graveyard. There was literally 1 or 2 cards that were kind of good in this entire archetype. But if you guys want to take a look, how about the Yubel archetype? I didn't know that Yubel ended up getting support. If you want to keep learning cards with me, why don't you check out the video on the Yubel archetype that we made right here. I'd love to have you over there. Thank you for watching, everybody. Take care, guys.